What is up, guys? It's your boy Waverall here with another video. Today I have a video for you guys explaining 7 tips that'll make you better at Apex Legends. Alright guys, so the first tip I have for you guys is to use a legend that complements your playstyle. For example, I use Bloodhound. I use Bloodhound because has the ability to scan people, and his ultimate ability allows him to highlight enemies in red, making it easier for him to kill and shoot him. For you guys, it's different. There are 14 legends in this game. They all have unique abilities. They all have passive abilities. But you gotta get and select the one that you would be used to using. Because if you choose a legend and then you don't play them that much, you're not gonna really get used to the abilities that quickly. For me, like, it took a little while for me to get used to Bloodhound, probably like 2 or 3 weeks. But for other people, it might take longer. For others, it might be quicker. It really depends on your skill level. By now, a lot of people have been playing Apex Legends. There are a lot of people that joined Apex Legends recently, and a lot of people that have been playing Apex Legends for a while. But if you really don't know what legend you're comfortable with, you might as well go to firing range, because firing range is one of the best ways to test out the legends, because you could use their ability and you could change the legend while you're playing in that firing range. It makes it much more easier for you, and it gives you a general idea on which legend you'll like to use. I would highly recommend doing that. Alright guys, so the next piece of advice for you guys that I would give you is to warm up your shot. Because before you start a match, you're going to have difficulty killing enemies because your shot's not really warmed up. So I recommend you jump right into firing range, get a weapon that you're used to, like a G7 Scout or the Wingman. Just shoot at the dummies, shoot at the targets at the back, and just adjust your shot. When you feel like you're comfortable with your shot, start switching to different weapons. Like, I would switch to a Volt SMG or the Havoc, or I'll go to like the R301. I'll even use a heirloom weapon if I have to, like a Kraber, just so I get a feel of the weapon and where I should be shooting the targets correctly, and so I kind of feel adjusted. Trust me, when you're adjusted to your shot, you'll definitely tell in mid game how well you're aiming at your targets and how easy it is to like get your shots on them. Alright guys, for tip number 3, I would like to recommend that you guys use a sight attachment on each of the weapons you use. Generally, the iron sights in Apex Legends aren't really that good. I mean, if you look at the G7 Scout, the iron sight on that gun is like horrendous. Like, you can't even see anyone through it. You'll probably be dying when shooting other players. Let's say you equip the 3x HCOG Ranger on the G7 Scout. The gun just turns into something else. Its G7 Scout will become a beast. Like, if you use the gun mid-game with the HCOG 3x Ranger, you could tell the difference between the normal iron sight and the HCOG Ranger, how much better and how much more the gun improves. So yeah guys, so when you're using your weapon, 9 times out of 10, try to get a sight for it. Guys, for tip number 4, I highly recommend that you control the recoil of a weapon, because if you don't control the recoil of the weapon, you will end up having a bad shot pattern. It'll go straight up and most of your bullets won't be hitting your target. Aim assist will help you, but it won't be exactly as accurate as you would want it to be. So a weapon I would recommend doing this with would be a Volt SMG or the G7 Scout. You can even use the R301. These are excellent weapons to learn, but when you do shoot a wall, let's say a rock that I'm shooting at with the G7 Scout here, you can see that the recoil is going up and I am not putting any pressure on my thumbstick. But when I do it again, I put pressure down on my thumbstick and the bullets go more into a center squeezed area, making it more higher for my time to kill and easier to get people with my bullets. As you guys can see, I am using the Volt SMG. So at the first, I let out a normal shot and held the trigger down, but then the next bullets I let out, I held my right thumbstick down, and you can see that the pattern on the right is much more smoother compared to the pattern on the left. So remember the recoil control, guys. For tip number 5, guys, I want you guys to learn and master the pinging system. I played with a lot of Apex teammates who did not know how to ping. They're like watching, clicking, someone's been there, etc. at random places, and I kind of didn't understand and sometimes even died. But once you guys master the pinging system, it's much more easier for your teammates to know what you want to do and where you want to go. A lot of people do overlook pinging, but I feel like it's not a different thing to master. It's only 8 different pings in the game, and your teammates will be thankful for you doing this because it will let them know right away in the game where you want to go, where you want to attack, defend, and all the other commands that you want to give. But it's all personal preference, but I highly recommend that you guys use your pings as it'll help your teammates win games more and help you win more. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to win? It's Apex Legends, right? Alright guys, for tip number 6, I do recommend that you use the meta weapons. So, if you don't know what the meta weapons are, or what that even means, meta weapons are pretty much the best weapons in the game that give you the highest output. Okay guys, so some of the meta weapons that I do recommend are the G7 Scout, R301, Bolt SMG, the Hemlock, the Prowler, and the Wingman. These weapons are really good because they offer a high time to kill and they don't take much skill to use. Maybe the Wingman might be difficult for you to use. It really depends on what weapons you like. Like, do you like using single fire weapons, burst weapons, automatic weapons? It really depends. But compared to a charge rifle or the Sentinel, I would rather take an assault rifle or submachine gun over them. Those weapons I would recommend that you use. For my last tip, I give you guys probably the best advice that I ever gotten from a teammate, Ashley, in Apex Legends when I played with him a long time ago. He told me that positioning is key. Before, I would just run right in, gung ho, don't care, just go and try to get as many kills as I can. But I realized with positioning, I was starting to drop 15 kills, 20 kills. Ever since I dropped 20 kills, I learned that my positioning was a reason why I was doing so well. So every time you guys get in a fight, try to always, no matter what, always try to get the high ground. Or at least just be a little bit higher elevation than the enemy. Because when you're shooting downwards compared to upwards, your downwards target acquisition is actually much higher than when you're shooting upwards. Because your aim is going to be focused generally towards the ground. Meaning that it's easier for you to look and shoot while the person up top has to hold up their stick and be kind of like uncomfortable looking at a strange angle to shoot at you. I would advise that when you are on a higher angle, just because you are on the higher angle doesn't mean you can't get killed quickly. Because a lot of people don't know this, but if your team is not together, you're not team shooting together, and you're just standing up top, you're more of a higher, I guess you could say, higher chance of getting killed. Because your target is in a much more available space. Because just because you have an advantage looking at the top doesn't mean you're at the best position, right? Because people below you can get cover, they go somewhere else, jump out of the building. Not saying that you can't either, but it's better off for them to flee and reposition since you're already at the top. So guys, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate the view, and make sure you hit the like button if you like the video. Also guys, let me know in the comments if you use the advice that I gave you, or you already knew about this advice, or you guys learned something that can help somebody else grow as an Apex player, because that's what Apex is all about. But yeah, make sure you guys have a great day. Enjoy yourselves.